Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. I know it's a mouthful. It's Hamilton Malayali Samajam. I'm with here today our Chair, Board of Director, Johnny Thomas, Property Chair, Matt Matthews, and Board Member, Dr. Anil Varghese. Respected board members, thank you so much for the opportunity. And I'm going to give a little bit about our organization and a little bit about the project that we are planning to do. So firstly, who we are. Hamilton Malayali Samajam is a leading not-for-profit organization, community organization established in 1986. It serves a community in Greater Hamilton mainly. The purpose of this organization and the main mandate of this organization in order to enrich the Canadian culture by contributing and preserving South Indian culture. We organize various cultural and sports events throughout the year. Many of the council members had been in our facility and attended our functions. Councillor Terry Whitehead, Councillor Judy Partridge, Councillor Nilender Mann. They are familiar with our organization, and we have special focus on seniors, newcomers, immigrants, children, and community at large. In 2003, to meet growing needs of the community, we have decided to purchase a school. Then later on, it converted into a community center, which is in Glanbrook. We have about 15,000 square footage of indoor space and about 6 acres of land, including a sports field. The community center is fully paid off with the help of community donations and some of the business sponsorship. The facility has renovated with 120 parking spots with the accessibility parking last year. Then our project is it's an ambitious project, and it's regarding cricket. So I just wanted to give a brief outline about the cricket. Cricket is the second most popular game in the world. It's actually have a fan base about 2.5 billion people around the world, second to soccer. And currently in Canada, it's a 7th most popular game. And then in Toronto and Hamilton itself, there is about 450 schools in GTA and Hamilton. They are playing cricket. And as the immigration demographics are changing, so as you can see, that's more South Indian people are immigrated to Hamilton and surroundings. There is an exponential growth of people playing in cricket in Hamilton. And interestingly, the City of Hamilton study outdoor recreation facility and sports field provision plan study clearly demonstrate there is a significant shortage of cricket fields in Hamilton. So that's one of the unmet need so that we are going to address. The advantage, our plan is we already have the ground, which is actually from the school ground, but unfortunately this ground is not, at current state, it's not good for a professional cricket field. The space is uneven and it can cause injury, and it doesn't have a proper pitch. The cricket, in order to the main, it's like a baseball diamond. You need a concrete pitch and with an artificial turf. So that also we don't have. The space is already have, if you look at it, the space, these are some of the pictures. We already have washrooms, outside accessible washroom for ladies and gents, so we don't need to build any accessible washroom. And the cricket, it's a day-long game, so we need a covered porch for scoring, and people need to take rest. So we are having that fully covered scoring pavilion, which is actually donated by one of our community member. That cost $60,000. So that was a donation from community. And there is a fully covered barbecue area, and then we have ample parking, like this, like enough parking space. And I just want to give a brief idea about how experienced our community group is in administering this kind of projects. So we are actually on an volunteer basis, we are managing the city's bingo event for last 18 years, which constitute about 20 to 30% of our operating income. And we have received about 6 New Horizons for Seniors project, which is worth of $125,000, which is successfully completed. We have completed 4 enabling accessibility projects, which worth of $320,000. So then we have, over a period of time, for the capital grants and renovations, we received from corporate sponsorship and private donation more than $200,000. So who will benefit from this project? It's clear that the people are actually playing cricket and leagues, and there is so many clubs, they don't have enough space. So it's very clear. So the cricket clubs and schools in Greater Hamilton will benefit. And cricket tournament, we actually organize one cricket event tournament every year. And then more people are asking for this facility in order to rent. We cannot rent now because of the lack of facility, and the cricket leagues can use this facility. So the booking can be done through either through city partnership, or we have the website, and we have the other avenues that we can arrange through that. And several cricket clubs and leagues have already expressed their interest in renting the facility once it is up and running. So if you look at the return of investment, this is a long-term investment for City of Hamilton, and it's best suited as a legacy project because it's a growing sports, and cricket, you can engage new immigrants, new community, especially South Indians, and this can go into the public at large too, so they will appreciate the cricket. So it's best suited as a legacy project as per the future fund grant criteria. And this will add one more professional cricket field in the city's inventory. So the community members definitely is going to get benefit from this sports. And as I said, this is an ideal partnership between City of Hamilton and Hamilton Malayali Samajam. So the city, if you can provide funding through the infrastructure support, and we will be responsible for ongoing management and maintenance and in future. As the interest of time, I'm not going into details of the financial aspect of this project. That definitely that I can answer any questions regarding that in the question session. So I just wanted to give a brief outline about how the organization works. So we have board of directors, which is elected. We have a 3-year term. Then a property management committee, again elected members, 3-year term. They are responsible for all the property management, facility management. Board of directors are responsible for overall strategic direction. Then executive committee, headed by president, they have 1-year term. They are responsible for day-to-day operation of the organization. Just quickly, financial, how our organization, the income, I'm not going into details about our operating and expenses, mainly bingo, even corporate sponsorship, then property taxes and the other expenses that. And then we are very fortunate and very happy to say that several of leaders in the community and officials, they have actually supported, and they have actually given support letters, which is included in our package. Honorable David Sweet, MP, he came in our facility and then attended several functions. And Council Brenda Johnson was their last cricket event, and first-hand experience with our facility and the program. And Honorable Donna Skelly, Minister Philomena Tassi. And then Hamilton District Cricket League and Hamilton Cricket Club also gave us the letter, and they are interested in renting the facility once the project is done. And then in summary, the City of Hamilton can add one more professional cricket field with minimal investment, The second one is this facility will be open for public, any cricket club or anybody wanted to rent, this will be open for them. And we, Hamilton Malayali Samajam, is responsible for ongoing management and maintenance. So I think I stick into time. There is only 15 seconds left. So thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So we have a number of questions. Terry Whitehead first.
Thank you. And I had the privilege of attending a barbecue there with over close to 600 attendees. So it really is a vibrant organization and a very exciting organization, very diverse even from a religious point of view. It all wasn't one religion. So it was really very exciting. And to see what you've done with the building since you've acquired it to even make it more inviting for these types of activities. One of the things you identified, and I know the outdoor study a number of years ago identified with the diversity of our community growing at a significant rate, which is a good thing. It's a great thing. We have lagged significantly behind in providing appropriate cultural sport fields to meet that growing need in our community. You were aware of that because you presented that in your presentation, that there's a acute shortfall of cricket fields in the city of Hamilton.
That's right. So that's in, I think, in page 135 to 136. It clearly says in that report we don't have enough cricket facilities, and we get calls. And then in our community too, so we have to, most of our cricket clubs has to travel all the way to either Burlington or Oakville or Toronto to do practice, not only do the tournament, to do the practice. So
the request that you're asking for is, I think it was 358,000, and the minimum request was 281,000.
That's correct, through Chair.
So can I help me understand how you would cover, if it was 281, how would you cover that differential, if you could?
Yes, the minimum required funding that need in order to realize this project is $281,000. We have in our community, we actually contacted few people, and then they are ready to sponsor through their expertise and their money too. So we will be going to community members and the cricket clubs in order to solicit funds, and then we are confident that we can get up to that $77,000. So that will be 381 in order to realize the project.
I appreciate that. And you also indicated, because there's always concern that when you fund these kinds of things, it's really localized just for that community. But I think you really stressed in your presentation,
yes,
that other than the allocated time you need for your organization, the balance would be available to the broader community through whether it's a city booking system or whether it's through your own, and that would be a partnership you would have worked out. But the reality is you are welcoming the balance of this community to participate in this cricket field.
Absolutely, absolutely, through Chair. If you look at it like the overall, our activity which attract so many mainstream people, and then this facility will be available, and there are, in this facility there was a soccer, it's actually conducted by one of the soccer clubs also, we actually rented out, and there is a Montessori school that's running, and then so many other activities which is open for all.
I appreciate that. And I think what really is, and I'm going to throw my council hat on, what I actually appreciate is the fact that we add a cricket field into our inventory where we have a shortage, but the taxpayers aren't picking up the cost for the ongoing operating and maintenance of that field, because you're going to do it. Is that correct?
That's 100% true, Chair. That's correct. We will be responsible for the ongoing operating and maintenance, like grass cutting, field maintenance, all that. We will be responsible. The entire the operating of our community center. Now we are actually responsible. We make that income through rental, event. income. So we have a source of income for operating expenses to meet operating.
I appreciate that because this is just straight capital and you will be doing operating maintenance and you're providing a field and the taxpayers won't have to pick any 1 cent up. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anthony, sorry. John, I canceled you. Anthony.
Oh, no. Through you, Mr. Chair. My concern is, and you actually addressed it, that your plan is eventually to go to artificial turf. So is there a plan? Is there a timeline of when you want to go to turf? Is it in addition to this grass field and those types of things? Because as we've seen with other city entities, the move is away from grass because of climate, the usage, those type of things. So what's the plan in terms of that?
Through Mr. Chair, there is two things in the field. One is the overall ground, and the artificial turf that I'm in the project, and then I'm talking about the pitch. The pitch is it's a smaller portion of the entire field. So I don't know exact dimension, but that's a smaller portion that will have a concrete base, and on the concrete base there will be a small artificial trough. So then in the winter, they can actually roll that out, and so it's a low maintenance cost. So it's a small portion. So that's how they do the professional cricket pitch.
Actually, I think John was before me.
Well, he didn't, it doesn't work on my machine here. He's now a third. Oh, I touch him. So what happens if I touch
We
him?
can stay on, we can stay on, yeah. So go with John. Okay, all right, but don't touch me.
Okay, we're ready? Okay. Thank you so much for the presentation. I found it incredibly educational. Just a couple quick questions. As Councillor Whitehead indicated that if this project goes ahead, then it's an excellent example of the private partnership that the city has with community groups. And again, you should be congratulated for that. The other question, maybe for staff, is if this cricket pitch becomes a reality, and will that address the shortage of cricket fields within the city? Recognizing the study was done in 2011, and I don't know what has transpired since then.
Through the chair, in terms of our inventory for cricket pitches, we have currently no fully regulation size cricket pitches. We do have a few makeshift cricket pitches at the current time. We are currently planning, and shovel will be underway momentarily in terms of our development at Confederation Park for a full-size regulation cricket pitch. So currently at this moment, we do not have a fully regulation size cricket pitch. If this were to be supported, that would move that inventory to 2.
Okay. Just another procedural question, I guess, is you indicate that you're going to rent the pitch out. Obviously, it's a great way to generate revenue. Would the club do that, or how would the city become involved in renting a private facility?
Thank you, through Mr. Chair. We are open to whatever the way it actually works best for the community members, community members, or we have a website system that currently we have a process of renting out facility. We could use that, or we are welcoming cities process, so we are ready to partnership anyway, that whatever works best.
Great, thanks, all I have. Appreciate.
You're back, Judy.
I'm back. Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. And thank you so much for coming in and for your, it's great presentation, and for your board of directors as well. I really appreciate you taking the time and coming in and answering some questions. I've been most impressed with not only the vibrancy of certainly your members and your community, but your organization just has the ability to administer, to fund, to get so many people involved and create these sustainable, very sustainable projects. The question I've asked before, and I'm going to present it to you, is about the legacy aspect of it. I know what my version of the legacy aspect is, but I'd like to hear yours and your organizations and you know, the discussion that perhaps took place at the board level around what type of legacy project this actually will mean to the city of Hamilton, if you would please.
Thank you, Councillor Judy Patrick, and through Chair. Though to our point of view, through our we think this one is perfectly fit for as a legacy project for a few reasons. One is our organization's mandate in order to bring the culture or bring the sports to Canadian and introduce to the Canadian mainstream. So it's a two-way partnership, and it's perfectly fit as a legacy because we don't have many cricket, the professional courts in Hamilton. So this will be one of the kind, and then it will be properly recognized as future fund project cricket in our community and the community at large too. So that will be perfectly fit for its legacy, and it's a long term, very long term. Once the field is done, that's mostly it's forever. So then people will be more and more attracted, and then we can engage our community through sports into the mainstream.
And I thank you for that answer. I think another part of the legacy that the role that your organization can play is that you would be the official first location, unless Confederation Park gets there first, but you would be the first one there, and I think that's really quite an accomplishment. I just want to mention, Chair, that I know that some of your members do come from the Flamborough area and from many different locations around. It certainly isn't just the local area that you have, but I can guarantee you I have been getting phone calls as well about you know, having the pitch built in Flamborough. So, you know, I think definitely there's possibilities for tournaments there, and I can only see that the membership would increase. So again, I thank you very much for your presentation.
Thank you.
Evelyn?
Thank you. Through the chair, I'd just like to congratulate you and your group for doing the amazing work you've been doing across Hamilton for many years. As a child of cricket fan, my mother is a strong cricket fan. We have to stay up late at night to watch the series whenever it's on. And my nephew being named Venkataragavan is because of the Indian cricketer who was a very champion in cricket. So our family is very cricket oriented. Not the younger one as much, but the older generation being the West Indies against Pakistan or India, wherever. So just want to congratulate you and keeping that legacy alive. It's a British, came from the British colonizers that gave us that sports, and we've loved it over the centuries. My question around this, it relates to the management of this field. Given you'd be receiving funding from the city, taxpayers from all backgrounds, how open are you to having input from the various communities who participate in cricket, such as the Caribbean, Australia, the UK? Because my excitement about this project was because I know it's not, you're the organizer, but I know it's a sports for many, many people from various parts of the world. And I just want to make sure that the accessibility for those people becomes an integral part of the management, not simply for one cultural community, which I know you've mentioned before through Councillor White's question. I wanted to reiterate whether or not there's an openness to having a voice from those cricket player communities to shape the management from a strategic end. And so that's my question.
Thank you for your question through Chair. That's a wonderful question. Like the culture of our organization and the way that we do the activities. So if you look at this project itself, we had several consultations with the cricket clubs and who play cricket, and they're actively involved. We have actually collected lot of feedbacks, and then what they want, how it actually runs, and then we have collected that information. That's how that we actually made the project. That's one thing. And then in addition to that, I just wanted to highlight few of the other partnership events that we do. One of the example will be this year is Gandhi's 150th the anniversary. So there is about 15 different organizations in Hamilton. It's actually combining, and then we are doing one event at Hamilton Malayali Samajam in order to foster that relationship with the other communities. And all the other project, New Horizons for Seniors project, Enabling Accessibility project, we received, we asked for partnership letters with the other organization too, and they rent our facility in order to do the programs there, Bengali community and different other communities, they do programs. Thank you.
Tara?
Hello, and again, thank you so much for the presentation. I do not know too much about cricket, but it seems like it's a very important sport, and we do need more pitches in the area. One of my, and I don't know if this is a question particularly to you or something that we'll have to address later, but I do feel like we have to understand more about the partnership between your organization and how it will be dealt with through the city, if it's your organization or the city that actually owns the pitch, because it's on private property. And I would like to know how you will try to promote the sport and to include, people all throughout the city in it, because I think it is a little bit far away from a bus stop in Glanbrook. So how will you be able to include, people in this area as well? Thank you.
Thank you for the question through Ms. Chair. The cricket now, if you look at the inventory, like the cricket, they play throughout the summertime, and now they have to travel all the way to Burlington or Oakville in order to play this. So mostly the people will travel, and then it's not that far, like it's about 15-20 minutes from, if you travel from downtown, or like most of the people who lives in that area, the mountain area, Hamilton mountain area, for them it's not that accessible, like it's not that far in order to get access, and it's a day game. It's not like a shorter game. Once they in there, like they will be leaving only in the evening. Like it's especially in the one-day match, it's actually 6-7 hours. And the partnership aspect, the facility will be there, and what they need is to access this space in order to play. So what we are thinking in our organization point, it will be just like any other facility, any other soccer field. Anybody wanted to rent this facility and use the facility, they are welcome, and they can first come, first served basis.
Okay, thank you. Megan?
Thank you for your presentation. And you've said that anybody can rent the facility. What's the cost to rent the facility?
The cost aspect we haven't actually worked out, but it will be what we are in discussion. It will be something like the normal rate that actually renting the facility, like a soccer field or any other field. So it will be like a city's rate or like comparable to that. Because we don't anticipate very high administrative, we need to cover our expenses mainly. So we are not going to employ anyone in order to, like there is no permanent employees, 0 employees in our organization. So we are not anticipating any high overhead expense. So it's basically, we have to meet the cost.
So it would be, I believe that if someone privately wants to rent the fields, it's an hourly cost
Yes.
to the city, and so it's a game that takes 6 to 8 hours.
It depends on how many hours they play.
Okay.
So like 6-7 hours, yeah.
Okay. And how many hours would be free? I understand that it's open June, July, August, September, and that your group would certainly have some commitment of time in terms of leagues and competitions, et cetera, how many hours do you anticipate will be free that will be available for people to rent?
Thank you, through Chair. We have only commitment 2 to 3 days in a year. That's our organization. We officially host a tournament. So that's required 2 or 3 days. The rest of the time, once it is done, then it's open. So anyone, any club can rent that. And regarding the time, it will be like a soccer, like once the court is or the field is settled, and then I would imagine like somewhere in June we will be able to open, and then late September or early October we have to close. Depends on the weather and rain and the other factors.
Thank you. I just have, so I'm sort of the guy who runs the book here in a way. So you're asking for 358,000, but you could take 281,000 because you think you can
That's
raise
true.
77,000.
That's
You can raise 140,000? I mean, I'm just asking. It seems like a number that doesn't relate to anything to me.
That's the one of the number, like after all the discussions like that's came up with comfortably that we can actually do in order to, this is very ambitious project, and when we do it, we wanted to do it properly.
Sure.
And it's a long-term investment. It's not like a short-term investment. So that's why when we do it, we wanted to do it properly.
So thank you for your presentation. The only other comment I'd make, and we will be talking about all of the presentations after, I think certainly for me, if we do approve this, I need a cricket lesson.
Absolutely, absolutely, anytime.
Okay, thank you very much. So, yep. Late, but I'll let you.
It's actually not a question, it's just a quick comment, just to add to the spirit. I actually never understood cricket, but I had the honor and privilege to go to Cape Town and watch the World Cricket Championships, and it is a big deal in those that part of the world.
The next time you go to Cape Town, I'm going with you. But anyway, okay. Thank you very much. No, one more. Okay.
For making declarations, I don't know, I'll throw my 2 cents worth in. I had a couple of opportunities to go to bat at Mountain Sports Park, and it was hard.
Yeah.
But it was fun, and certainly a challenge. So just to follow on the question in terms of community use time. So how do we, have kind of broader community use, kids that might want to access free without rental? We asked many of the other groups here, tennis and sports. What kind of community access program might you have to inspire the younger generations to play without having a whole lot of cost?
Absolutely. So the one of the benefit with our community, there are so many people, they are talented in cricket. Like they played actually, even we have community members, they played in state level team and national team. They are willing to coach the new, young kids, and all that will be community event and free for all. So what we are talking, the rental will be the structured program anyone wanted to do, but all the other activities will be free. Whatever we offer now, it's all free. So we charge only very minimal in order to cover the cost.
Anyway, thank you very much for your presentation.
Thank you.